Fiona Whitten from Oakville Crafts here, and welcome to the first card, well, the virtual card in the Cuppa in February. So this morning I was over at the Home Grange Craft Village and met up with a group of ladies, and we crafted whilst we enjoyed our coffees and teas and whatever people wanted. And then this afternoon I'm sharing the cards that I took with me this morning, and I'm going to make one too. So this is the kit that got sent to everybody who ordered them. So you can order them. Normally I ask that you order them the month before. So this month we've got February, so the closing date for that was like the middle of January. So come the middle of February, the closing date for the March kits will come around. So this is the first kit that we're using, and as always you get a basic white envelope. You get your card base, which has already been cut and scored for you. So this is Highland Heather, so it's half an A4 that's been cut in half down the length and then scored in half. There is also a piece of basic white, which is actually for the inside. Sometimes we don't use it for the inside, but for this one it was designed to be for the inside. Then there were 3 pieces of designer series paper, double-sided paper. So, and I'll show you that in a minute, but if you intrigued to know what it is, it's called Sweet Talk, and you will find it in the January to June mini catalogue. So one side on this particular bit you've got love hearts, a bit like the hearts sweets that I believe you still can get, and then it's love words, so it's love, lieb, je t'aime, and so it's all the different languages in the Stampin' Up world. And then so that's the larger piece. And then these other 2 pieces are cut the same size, but they're slightly narrower than the other piece. So we've got a piece of stripy, which has got hearts on, a nice sort of piece of marbled effect, and then that's got sweeties. So it's candy. So you've got hearts and other sweets. So that's your paper. There is a strip of basic white as well, and I'll show you what I've done with that in a minute. And then also in the pack is some die cut hearts. Now this is a whole strip, so you'll find those of you who have it, when you peel it off, you will find some of them maybe still have backing on, which you'll need to remove, others don't. If there's a little bit of backing here missing, then don't worry about it, as long as your piece of card is whole. And these little hearts in the middle can be popped out if you want to. So this was die cut from some Highland Heather cardstock, and I used, so this is the Sweet Conversations bundle. It doesn't come like this. I've just taken to now putting my dies inside the coordinating stamp set so that I know that I haven't got to go hunting for them. So it comes, so the bundle comes with the, as I said, the Sweet Conversations stamp set, and then there is also these sweetheart dies, which are very cute. And I know Valentine's is, well, it's less than 2 weeks now, it's 12 days time. Not everybody would necessarily want to do a Valentine's card, and there were other options when we made the cards this morning. But I used this die here to die cut the hearts. So this is them without any of the foam backing, so they come out in one string of hearts. Now you could, if you really wanted to, make them into individual hearts, but why do you want to do that? Because I think that's really, really cute. And there are also other dies for that. So this one is in a row, this, and that's a smaller one, and this one here is it will go down your page. So there's all sorts of things. This makes a little envelope, and then you've got a banner and a tag and all sorts of bits and pieces. So you don't have to use this for Valentine's. I can see it being used for birthdays, anniversaries, wedding cards, Be great to use it if you were having to make a lot of wedding favours and things like that. Sorry, I'm playing here with all the little bits that have come out, so I kind of keep everything together so that I know that's where it all is. So the hearts here, as I said, are on foam. So what I actually did, we have these adhesive sheets that come like this. So there's 6 in a pack. And then what I did was I simply cut just the amount that I wanted. So you can peel back like that. Put your strip of cardstock or whatever it is that you want and then cut around it. Don't throw this away because it has its use. That's basically what once everything was die cut out, I cut up the backing sheet that it came off, and it's good for sticking things on, and then you can send it to people and stuff like that. So that's how that worked. So that is the kit. So as I said, I've used the Sweet Conversation stamp set for a couple of the cards, the hearts and all sorts of bits and pieces, and the coordinating dies. But I've also used other sentiments too. So you will find, as I was saying, this is the Sweet Talk paper. So you'll find it on page 9 of the January to June mini catalogue. So it's a pack of 12 by 12. Here's the bundle. So you have a stamp set and the dies. And then there's all sorts of other coordinating products. So you can see here, so we have, looks like sweets, hearts with stripes, more hearts with other stripes. These are little lollies and so various things. And then on the other side, you can see the stamp set in more detail. And I love these pages because it gives you all sorts of ideas as well. So this is the stamp set, and as I said, there's the coordinating dies to go with it. And then the adhesive you will find in the annual catalogue, and you will find it on page 167 of the annual catalogue. And if I have to find it, foam adhesive sheets, that's it. So you get 6 sheets, and they're 4.5 inches by 4 5/16 or 11 centimetres by 11.4 centimetres. So they're great for these sorts of things because it gives you the support that you need. So if you need it for words or say things like this, then it's very, very useful. So I'm guessing, as I said, that you are going to want to see the first card. So this was the first card that I shared this morning. So I've used 2 of the pieces of the double-sided paper, simply glued them on, glued my strip of basic white all the way across, removed some of the hearts, which I then put onto some of the paper. I left one in and I put a rhinestone on it. So, and then this, I just put this on. So this is, I don't know if you can see, it's obviously the purple is raised up. And then I had a piece of the other double-sided paper left, so I just cut a strip off that and glued that to the piece of basic white for the inside of the card. So that was my first card. And as I said, you don't have to send this as a Valentine's card. You could put a sentiment inside for birthday, for anniversary, for wedding. So there's all sorts of things you can use it for. That was my first one. My second one, so I started off with the card base like this, and then what I did is I cut a piece off. So this is the card open, so it's all in landscape, and I measured from here to there 7.5 centimetres and simply cut down. Actually, what I did is I put this into my trimmer that way, put that at the 7.5 centimetre mark, and then just simply cut down. So I ended up with a panel and a piece of card that only had half a side for the front. And then simply I glued the one piece of the smaller piece of double-sided paper to the front part portion, turned the piece that was cut out of here from portrait to landscape, and glued the second piece of paper to that, and then hopefully it's in the middle, and then stuck this on. Now you can add this with foam pads, whatever you want to do. I glued it, but you just need to take care to make sure that you only put your glue or your foam pads under the left hand side. You don't want it on the right hand side, otherwise you're just going to be gluing your card shut, which is not such a good idea. So I saved my little hearts that were from here, and I just put one on the front. And then for the inside, so this is the larger piece of the double-sided paper, so I glued it directly onto the piece of basic white, and it's larger because it's designed to fit and sit here, and it's slightly wider here. So it sits on there nicely, and then so when you close the cards, you can see that as a third alternative piece of paper. But obviously when you open the card up, then you have space here to put in your sentiment, be it Happy Valentine's, Happy Birthday, on your wedding day, or whatever. So that was my second one. My third card is a variation on the second card, but instead of putting this panel here across the middle and it then just still being a landscape card, I actually glued it on so that when you stand it, the bottom lines up with the bottom of the back piece of card. So you would want to, if you're going to stamp on this piece rather than putting any of the double-sided paper on, then you would want to stamp, excuse me, your sentiment and your hearts or whatever it is that you want to stamp on there first before you glue it on. So what I then did, once I had that piece done, don't even attempt to put the middle piece in just yet. So I then glued this on to the card front, and again you only want the glue that goes in this portion here. And then I glued the paper on, put the piece of basic white over the front so it sort of hides the join, and then just put my hearts, my foam hearts on there. Added a little rhinestone just to one heart. Obviously it's personal choice, but I'm very much a less is more. And then before I glued this piece of basic white on the inside of the card, I stamped some more hearts on it. I think I went a bit too mad. I just wanted to make sure that you could see hearts behind. I probably didn't need to kind of do quite so many. I could have just gone off and done it that way. But anyway, that's how I did it. So that's my third card. So I guess I need to work out now what it is that I'm going to do for the fourth card with this kit. She says, scratching her head. You know, when you start making things, you think, oh, this is a really good idea, and then you get further into it and you think, oh, I'm not so sure now. So now, am I going to do a landscape or a portrait card? So we've got, so let's see what we've got. We've got two landscape and a portrait. So maybe I will just do a portrait card like this. So my basic white's going to go on the inside. So I'm just going to tuck that away so I don't end up using it by mistake. Now, because I'm going landscape, I need to kind of choose my paper carefully, because what I don't want is to have parts or whatever going sideways. Some of it doesn't matter, like this piece here, because the images are going left, right, upside down. Yeah, that bit doesn't really matter. If you are using the reverse side to the paper when it was originally cut, so if you cut your paper and then decide, actually I want to use the reverse side, you might want to just quickly run a finger, or I usually run my thumbnail or a bone folder just down the edge of that reverse side, just to make sure that that edge is flat, because when you cut through, sometimes the force of the blade going through will just push the card up. So like on this one, I wanted this side, but you can see that there's what looks like rough edges on the reverse side. So I'm going to just quickly although I do think on this one I will probably end up using the other side, because I can just go how I want it. And I've got some stripes as well. So then the $64 million question is, what am I going to do? So I've got my love hearts, I've got my stripes. Now I could put that on as well, but I'm not sure that I want to. So I've got that. You don't, of course, have to use that to put your hearts on. You could choose to use that to put your sentiment on if that's what you want to do, and then put the hearts elsewhere, and you could put them wherever you want to. But what I am going to do, because I think I am going to do that, is I want to stamp some hearts on this piece. So I'm going to do some tone on tone stamping. So basically all that means is that you're using the same colour ink as the paper. So this is Highland Heather, so I need my Highland Heather ink pad. And there it is, which is good. Now this stamp set comes with 3 different hearts. Well, it comes with other hearts as well, but I don't want the text. So I'll just show you them. So these 3 are the solid images. It's a distinctive stamp set, so it will give you a shaded effect. So this was just one inking, so, and that's how it came out. That's how it's designed to come out. So you'll see that one half is slightly lighter than the other. That's not a mistake, that's how it's meant to be, so don't panic. And then so you've got hearts, which are sort of solid or distinctive, and then you have hearts which have things like text me, or BFF, or love you. It's really up to you what you want to use. So I'm not going to hug me. I'm not going to use those. I'm just going to stick to these. Actually, it goes on that one. And when you actually get the stamps, they will actually be in between 2 sheets of acetate. You can leave them in those 2 sheets, or you can use the inside back of your stamp case, because it's designed that you can just simply put those on, and I then just keep 1 sheet of acetate. Sometimes I keep both in the box, depends on how I'm feeling with. These are always good, the other pieces, because you want to do, if you like window sheets and things, if you want to do shaker cards, so there's nothing goes to waste on it. Right, I'm going to use the smaller hearts. So there's one that's very rounded and one that's more elongated. I'm going to use both of those. There's also a little row of hearts, both solid and outlined. So if you wanted to colour, then you could do that. Again, you could put these onto a coloured cardstock and then cut them out using the coordinating dies. Saves you having to colour them. So let's see, whoops, don't need that, go away. Just get some blocks. But as I said, I don't know yet what I'm going to do. Sorry, there'll be a bit of a rattling noise now because I'm trying to find blocks. Don't want blocks that are too big. I like to put my stamps on a block that is, oh, look at that. Couldn't repeat that if I tried. I don't know why that's on there, but there you go. Oh. Obviously the backing came off that one. It decided it liked my fingers. There you go. Right. So let's see now. I'm going to decide which I want at the top, which I want at the bottom, and where do I want to put everything. So I really only need to put some hearts in here and there, or I could even just put a one whole one there and one whole one there. It's again, it's up to you what you want to do. That's my preference. So I'm just going to put these on kind of roughly so that I know how much space I've got. And because these are photopolymer, I would recommend that you put your cardstock onto something that has a bit of give. So I've just got my Stampin' Pierce mat. So that one's a bit, no, I quite like this. This is more of a rectangle. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the rectangular one. So let's see, I'm going to stamp that one here. Try and get it so that it's vaguely straight, like that. So it doesn't sort of jump out at you, it's not designed to. As I said, it's a tone on tone. If you prefer to remove your paper and stamp, then by all means do that. I'm being brave. I've got a little bit of a blotch on that, so take that off. Again, I'm going to stamp that here, I think, like so. Now the $64 million question is that a bit too in your face, or would I be better with one that is more subtle, like that? Now this is the one that's slightly bigger, as I said. So if you do want to use that one, then you may need to trim some of it off, like 1/2 centimetre. Otherwise you'd be going over that image. But yeah, that works, I think. So I'm just going to glue those two pieces on. Need that at the moment, so I'll just move that out the way. So I put this piece on first. Oh, actually no, maybe. No, I'm gonna go mad. So you don't need to cover the whole thing in glue. I usually just go around the outside and then you know, squidge in the middle. Squiggle in the middle. That's that piece. I'm going to put this piece on like so. Like that. So now I can either use that as a sentiment, or I can use that for putting that over it. You can play around and have it going different ways. So I could take those out and just put hearts down the middle there. I think what I am going to do though is I'm going to put a sentiment on there. I'm going to make this into a birthday card. So I'm going to use the Special Moments stamp set for that, which is a celebration set. So it's one of those that you can get for free. This one's with a £90 spend because it's a double stamp set. In fact, there are, wait for it, 21 different sentiments, varying in sizes. So we've got thanks for brightening my day, and I like this because it's got all sorts of mixed fonts in here. Hang in there, thanks, good luck, best wishes. So it's a great all-round stamp set with sympathy, just a card to say you're amazing. So there's all sorts of things you can use it for. So yeah, so that one's free. Don't forget Celebration will be ending at the end of this month. I know it's only the 2nd today, but time seems to fly at the moment. I really have no idea what's been going on. I've kind of lost all track. So I'm going to put Happy Birthday on here, like this. And because it's photopolymer, you can actually see where you're going, which is quite nice. Doesn't mean that I'm going to get it straight, but in theory, I can hear you now saying left, right, up a bit. That can go there. So just stamp that down, take that off. So there's my Happy Birthday. Close that so I don't end up putting something in it. I'm going to put that across the middle. I think I'm going to pop out a couple of hearts from the back of this and to use. Some of these have still got the backing on, so you just need to be careful. I'm going to put one there. I'll put a second one on here. Oops, not quite straight. So that's going to go across there, and I'm going to use yet more foam hats, and wait for it, da, da, da. I have my dimensionals to hand today. Haven't lost them, she says, still time. So just remember when you start adding height, thickness to your projects that certainly here in the UK, it means that postage is going to cost you more. So obviously if this is just simply being given by hand, then it's not really an issue. Let's see, where do I want that? I think about there. Hopefully, oops, if I put this card straight, then maybe I can see if that's straight or not. Oh, thereabouts. So that's that. And I think we're going to add some rhinestones to that. Now, because of the colours, you could use some pastel pearls, or you could use some rhinestones. And I'm just going to keep it simple by using some rhinestones. So to do that, I'm just going to use my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm just going to use the putty end, it's good for, and these things you don't need to try and get something underneath. If you've got a putty tool, then you can just apply it to the actual rhinestone and then just slide it and it comes up. Now, do I want it in the corner? No, this is where you then need to use the other end. Put that in there. Like so. Oops. So I've only got 2 rhinestones, but you know what, it kind of equals out. So I like that. So that's the front of my card. And now the inside of my card, oops, the rhinestones have gone astray. Waste not, want not, they can, oh dear. Having problems with these, God. You will stay on there. Now I could, on my piece of basic white that's to go on the inside, simply stamp, or I could put some double-sided paper. So we have some double-sided paper left here. I could just cut a strip off and put that on the bottom. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp a row of hearts on this. Again in Highland Heather. Now I'm going to start by stamping in the middle, she says. that. Now I need a bit of scrap. What I do have in here is one of these old backing sheets from the Dimensions, which I keep. I use this to put in my envelopes when I want to colour with my Stampin' blends. So I just keep it in there because it's easier. Let's stamp another one. Try and get them equal. There we go. And then obviously if you wanted to, you could stamp across the top as well. It's really up to you. I'm going to do that. And then that's going to get glued inside my card. Put that in here. And cut. Okay, and then obviously I always tell people don't forget to do your envelopes, and sometimes I have to admit I do forget to do my own. So where did I put the envelope? There we go. So I'm going to do the envelope. No, I'm just going to stamp on this. I'm not going to worry about. I'm just going to use that one. You can go to town on your envelopes. You can spend as long as you want. You know what? See if this works. It might just. I've got a bit extra space, but okay, it's not so bad. Right, okay, so there we go. So that's my envelope, and it, you know, you can do the front, you can do the back. Some people do both. It's really up to you. So that's my last card. So that's my fourth card. So what have we got on at the moment? So we've got Celebration, as I said. So that ends at the end of the month. Altogether collection went live yesterday, and that is our new Stampin' blends with the natural tones, which are great if you like colouring. Then these are definitely for you. And also there's paper and all sorts of other bits and pieces in the collection, and I'll be sharing more of that later in the week. In fact, I'm taking part in a blog hop tomorrow, and I'll have lots of projects set and ready to be posted as well on Facebook and various things. So those are my four cards. I hope you've enjoyed seeing those. So don't forget, as I said, Celebration ends the end of the month. If there's anything that you would like, £45 spend gets you a free stamp set or paper, depending on what's it is that you want. Or there's a couple of elements that are a £90 spend. So either drop me an email, or you can shop online if you just go to oakfieldcrafts.com, and then the shop button's at the top, and that will take you direct to my online store. And there you will also find the new Altogether collection. And I think that's about it. So next week I'm doing my Stampin' and Creating. So I will be live next Wednesday morning at 10. And in the meantime, if you've got any questions, or if you like what you see, then obviously leave a comment, because I can't actually see at the moment. The internet here, as I'm sure I've said so many times now, is just so rubbish. But the big news is that we are finally being dragged into the 21st century. So next week, touch wood, it's plastic, but anyway, touch my head. We are supposed to be getting finally some broadband to the house, direct to the house, fibre to the house, I should say, which means everything will be so much quicker, and it means I'll be able to do all sorts of other things as well, and like be able to see your comments as you make them. But there you go. Anyway, so thank you very much for watching. Pictures of the cards will go up probably, hopefully later today. We've got everybody working from home today, so it could be a bit mad when it comes to the internet, so it depends whether I can quickly nip on and get things posted. Failing that, it will be tomorrow, and also this is being recorded, so this will also be going up on YouTube tomorrow. So as I said, thanks for watching. Leave comments if our questions, and I will answer as quickly as I can, and I'll hope to see you next week. Take care. Bye.